If you're struggling with your anatomy not improving, then here are 3 exercises that will help you. And I use them all the time whenever I'm studying basically anything. So let's start with the first one, which is time practice. So this exercise will not only improve your anatomy drawings, but also you'll be drawing faster. So for that I use a basic app called Gesture Sesh, where basically you just put references here, you just choose a folder. Then here you just put an amount of images that you want to go through and then duration of each image. So we can do like 3 and 1. Then you press add. So basically every 60 seconds the image will change. And I recommend to set for each one like between 30 seconds and 300 seconds. So whenever you press OK, you'll see that here you have your window where you have your reference. And you can do a lot of things. You can flip it, put it in grayscale, but also you can skip, go back. And if you press R, if you change, the size will stay the same. So then you just press go and try to capture the thing that you're drawing. It can be like a full body, it can be like a body part, and then every minute it just goes to the next reference. And the key is to not focus on all the details. Instead, we want to focus on the basically biggest shapes. So whenever you're starting like a full body, you want to just simplify it into basic shapes. And basically I always start with a simple gesture and then I'll just build some details on top. So just start with a simple gesture, simple shapes, and then add details on top. And because of the limited time, you won't be focusing on all those small details like bumps in anatomy. Instead, you'll be focusing on like more biggest shapes, okay, gestures, and all the important stuff that you're trying to actually learn and practice. And it's actually good to take a couple of seconds whenever you just start and look at the reference and observe stuff. So observe all the landmarks, all the proportions, all the angles, but also like squinting your eyes will help you observe the biggest shapes and all the details will be blurry. And also don't stress if you like won't finish in like 30 seconds your practice, and you can just like set more time and then just decrease it with every practice. So the more you do it, the more faster and faster you'll get. And it's also a great warm-up to just set 30 seconds and do a couple of them. Yeah, it's really good. And also all my brushes are available in the link below. And with them you'll get 30 tips that will improve your art in 30 days. So next we have studies. So pick either a body part that you want to practice or like a whole body and gather some resources that you can learn from and also references that you can use. And it can be like books, tutorials, courses, and whatever will help you. So then we want to actually take this material and read it, watch it, and actually learn from it. And then we want to actually follow it. So like draw examples, draw steps by steps. The most important thing is to not just copy, but try to actually understand it. And taking notes will actually help you so much with understanding it. And these notes can be really simple. Like basically you can take this shape here and just have a note that says this side is curved and this one is straight. Also you can have like that this tapers and basically anything in your own words that helps you understand it more. And then we want to actually apply the knowledge and study. And this exercise is actually really good. You just take a reference, put it to the side, and you try to draw it. Try to break it into basic shapes. So basically you just take a second and observe the photo, and then you try to break it down into basic shapes. For example, you can see the tilt of the hip, of the shoulders, this alignment here, also here, like maybe elbow aligns with here, the pubic bone, and shoulder with this. Then when you're drawing, you just want to, here, this aligns with this, so that a little bit like that. Boom, now this goes past here, or here would be this arm. Now this goes something like that. Boom. And you just try to copy it, try to study it, draw it, break it to the simple shapes. And after you finish it, you want to actually compare it with the reference here. And you can do that by simply just taking it and just laying it over here. Just place it like that. And then you can see it where you were off. So basically it's like more tilted. Take it, overlay here, and just now make a new layer and take notes. So for example, the curve of the body, here the reference is more straight and we curve it a little bit more. So we can just take a note. For example, we want to move this head more over here, boom, the spine, and then this would be like that. Then we can hide this reference and see where we were off. So like maybe push this a little bit more in, hide this. You can even like sketch on top the shapes, then again hide the reference and see that, okay, this leg is too long. Now looking at our drawing, it's actually does look too long, so we can decrease it a little bit. But basically just take notes, and then after you make a new layer and you try to draw it again. But this time you just keep the notes in your mind, and whenever you're drawing, you just, okay, this tilt wasn't that big as before I did it, so maybe we can straighten it a little bit more. And now when we overlay it, it's like more right. Obviously even here you make a lot of mistakes, so you can actually do this however many times you want. But to be honest, like do this once, take some notes and draw it twice. And then just go into another reference, you'll learn much more. Also, I go much deeper in drawing bodies in my new Patreon tutorial, you can check it out. Now, the last practice will help us draw anatomy body parts in perspective. So first gather some references of the body part that you want to study and practice, and just make sure that you can actually rotate it in 3D space. And for that, like 3D models are very good. And this is PureF. It always stays on top, a good app, it's free. But yeah, then you just take the basic front view and you try to draw it. You can start with a simple gesture line, then shoulder would be here, then in the middle we would have elbow, and then you can, again, simple shape, another simple shape, a ball for elbow, another simple shape, boom. And then would be like a wrist. And obviously then you can add details. It would be biceps, as we can see, a little bit above that. So behind would be tricep. Then we have our shoulders here, boom, boom. Then for forearm, we can add like a simple triangle here to our silhouette and like a smaller one here. And you can either just simplify it into basic shapes or just draw every muscle that you see. Then you just go and rotate it a little bit and again draw it. So start from here, boom, then we curve a little bit like that. Again, middle is elbow, here a simple shape for shoulder, upper arm, elbow, lower arm, wrist, and then you add details again. So here bicep, deltoid, it goes between bicep and tricep. Then you have the forearm, again a triangle here, boom, boom. And then you just go again and you draw side view. Then you go and you draw from above. And basically you want to do here, here, here. Then you go below. Then you can rotate it other way and you just try to draw it in every angle. And then whenever you want to draw an arm, you know how to actually draw it. Even you can set like time for each one to not like 1 hour to do one. And basically start with a gesture, then break it to basic shapes. And you can even like make a new layer, lower the opacity of the main one, and then you can like go and refine it, okay, add some details, boom, boom. But yeah, this exercise will help you draw any body part in any angle you want. So it's pretty nice, but also it's a little bit harder and you have to like find good references. And if you're struggling with drawing the whole body, you can watch this video here. Bye.